Hey guys, I know I don't usually do this, but just wanted to catch you at the start of this video to apologise for not uploading on Friday and uploading today instead. I had a lot of problems uploading last night and it took nearly 12 hours to upload, over 12 hours to upload. And I don't know if this was my internet connection or YouTube, but to apologise and to celebrate St. George's Day, I thought I'd narrate George and the Dragon, so sit back, relax and just have a good time. St. George reached the sea and boarded a ship destined for Egypt. On his way, he reached a deathly silent land. It was here that St. George met a poor hermit. He asked the hermit for a bed so that he could rest his tired limbs. The hermit replied, "You have come at a terrible time. Our land has been ravaged by a cruel dragon who demands a sacrifice of an innocent maiden every day. He has threatened to send a plague and scorch the earth so that no man or beast may live. For 24 years he has terrified our land, and tomorrow it is a beautiful Sabia, daughter of the king, who must die." He explained the king had promised to give his daughter in marriage and the crown of Egypt to any brave knight who would kill the dragon. "For crowns I care not," said St. George boldly, "but the beautiful maiden will not die. I will slay the monster." The next day he rose at dawn and buckled his armour, laced his helmet and sharpened his sword. He mounted his trusted steed Bayard and rode into the valley of the dragon. On the way he met a procession of old women who were weeping and wailing. At the front was a beautiful damsel distressed in the finest Arabian silk. He knew it must be Sabia, the king's daughter. He dismounted and bowed before the lady, asking her to return to her father's palace because he was going to kill the dreaded dragon. The beautiful Sabia, thanking him with tears and smiles, returned to the palace, and St. George rode to meet the beast. Soon, the brave knight was at the dragon's lair and shouted for him to come out and fight. The dragon let out a mighty roar, louder than thunder, and spat venom from its mouth. Its wings were burning flames and its eyes empty and cold. From shoulder to tail it was 40 foot long, its body covered in scales harder than brass with a great golden belly. Its size and appearance would have made any other man tremble. But St. George steeled himself and prepared to fight. So fierce was the dragon's first charge that St. George nearly fell to the ground. He recovered himself and thrust his spear into the dragon's belly, but the spear shuddered and split into pieces. The monster roared and whipped both St. George and Bayard with its tail. St. George was thrown from his horse, but by good fortune landed under a flowering orange tree. The fragrance from the tree has magical powers. No poisonous beast would dare come within 7 feet of its branches. So the valiant knight lay there to recover his senses, until, with eager courage, he rushed back into combat. Again he struck the dragon in the belly with his mighty sword Ascalon. This time the dragon was wounded and purple venom spewed from its body and splattered St. George. The venom was so powerfully evil that his breastplate and helmet burst into 1,000 pieces. St. George might have been killed, but again he sheltered under the branches of the orange tree. Here he prayed that God would help him in his fight against evil. Then, with a bold and courageous heart, he advanced and thrust his sword under the soft wing of the fiery dragon. He pierced its heart, and all the grass and flowers around him turned crimson with blood from the dying monster. The brave knight took a deep breath and, with all his strength, cut off the dragon's head and hung it on the shaft of his broken spear. Exhausted and wounded, he mounted his horse and proceeded to the palace of the king. The king's name was Ptolemy, and when he saw the dragon was dead, he rejoiced. He ordered the city should be decorated to honour the hero, and a procession of noblemen and musicians escorted St. George to the palace. The beautiful princess washed St. George's wounds, and he was given a magnificent feast and many gifts of gold. King Ptolemy, true to his word, agreed that Princess Sabia and St. George should be married. After many adventures, they returned to England, where they lived a peaceful and happy life. Hey guys, just in case anyone didn't know, today is St. George's Day. That's why I chose to narrate this story. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumb up, and if you'd like to hear any other like classic fairy tales or stories like that, leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and as always,
Ah.